We're recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mr. Variant channel. My name is Jason, and today I have a video for you about my pull list. Thought I would share what I have currently being pulled for me. Maybe have your thoughts or suggestions on books that are similar, and I'm just going to run through it. There's like 30 some books here, so here we go. The first book on my list is Deceased. I picked these up mainly just because of the horror variant covers. I haven't read any of them yet. I do have the first three though. The next book on my list is The Immortal Hulk. Everyone knows it, everyone loves it. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because I don't have the full run. Number two is The Bottleneck because it's fairly expensive, but I will get it. Next is Spawn. It's on my pull list just for the Spider-Man homages here around 300. I haven't read Spawn in a long time. I may try to read it. I'm not sure. But I love Todd McFarlane. Excuse me. I love Todd McFarlane. His art was what drew me into Spider-Man when I was 16 or 17 years old. So yeah, I like Spawn. Next on my list is Silver Surfer Black, showing off that Clayton Crane beauty. Uh, awesome read. If it's not on your pull list, definitely put it on your pull list. It's an awesome, awesome read. A lot of people say they don't like the art, like it's an artist's art. I don't give a crap what they say. It's really good art. It's a little different, but yeah, sometimes different is good. And for the way this story is being told, the art is perfect for it. So pick it up. The next book that's on my pull list is Road of Bones. Um, this book is I have the first three issues, and it is really good. It's about the slaves in the Russian camps back during the time of Stalin, and the road that was paved over the bones of the slaves. It's really awesome. It has a really wicked, of course, a comic book twist to it. So I suggest Road of Bones. It's good. The next book on my list is Venom. It's an awesome book. I don't really have to say much about it. Everybody knows that Donny Cates is writing it, and it's awesome. Oh, I do want to say though that I don't have all the books of this. Uh, same sort of the same situation as the Hulk. I don't have the issue 1 and 2. I do have the one of the higher cost books, which is number 3. Although I have read the last few issues, just trying to prepare myself for Absolute Carnage. Also on my pull list is Thanos. I haven't read this yet, and it's odd because I got issue 1 off the shelf. I put issue 2 on my pull list, and it wasn't in my box when it came out, so I actually only have issue 1, even though it's still on my pull list. So I'm not sure about what's going on with that. Uh, Symbiote Spider-Man. I originally put this on my pull list because it's also going to be a part of the Absolute Carnage event, and I sort of looked through I think it was issue 3 or so. No, maybe it was issue 2. I think I picked up issue 2 off the shelf. Sort of looked through it, looked interesting. Got issue 3. Sort of looked through it. It looked interesting also. So I went and hunted down issue 1 and have read up to current now. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. There's a lot of different Spider-Mans on the market. It seems sort of confusing to me, like why there's, I don't know, 10, 15 Spider-Man books. I mean, I understand that he's a sellable character, but at the same time, even being like a comic book, I'm not saying I'm like all-knowing in comic book, but I know Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and I know Miles Morales is Spider-Man, and yet I'm seeing still like 10 books, so I don't know. Either way, I like the black suit Spider-Man. This is a good one. Next on my list is horror comics. This came out in May. Another one hasn't come out yet. I'm not sure when another one will come out, or if another one ever will come out. I haven't checked online yet to see what's the status of this, if it's just like a one and done deal, but it's on my list. So I may check that out at some point and see. Psylords. This is a Valiant book. I've always been back in the '90s when like Image was like all super graphical. They outshined Valiant, and I never really. I'm not saying like I loved Image because a lot of their books was ridiculous, but some of their books actually had good artists. Jim Lee was on some of their books. Liefeld, give or take. I've never really been a huge fan. He had everything. People make fun of the feet that he do in the bags and all this stuff, but not even that. There's just something about the definition of everything he does is just sort of strange. But uh, the Valiant books were always overlooked because the art was a little bit more simple. And now looking back on those books, I appreciate them a whole lot more. And I eventually want to do a video on the Valiant books that I've been collecting over the last 3 or 4 months. But that's why I put Psylords on my list, is because I had actually got some of the Psylords books in a lot, and I wanted to support Valiant because I like to support all the different publishers. And I don't know. I have issue 1 and 2. It took to the last 4 pages of issue 2 to like for me to say, oh, well, okay, yeah, this is actually something that I'm going to enjoy if it carries on like this. So issue 3 will probably be a make or break whether or not this will stay on my list. Um, Fantastic Four. I love Fantastic Four. Always have. They're one of my favorite super groups. Jonathan Hickman run on Fantastic Four is one of my favorite runs ever. Uh, I read this book. Actually, I had it on my pull list. I think it's issue 12. It's the one that has the symbiote stuff on their name, and I wasn't impressed with it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the art. The story was just like plain and simple and like trying to tell a message that I just didn't understand at the time. But I haven't read them yet, so I found issue 1 on the shelf, and this one's actually really cool because it has the wraparound cover. I think it's really really nice book. And I read this, and the art was still, I'm not a fan yet, but the story in this one actually was good. I enjoyed it. The end page was a really nice twist, although I could sort of see it coming. Um, so I'll keep it on my pull list for now. But when I was looking through the dollar bins, I noticed some of this run in the dollar bins. So I'm not sure if I should keep it on there if I'm able to just grab them out of the dollar bins. So we'll see. I can't say enough about Justice League Dark. I post pictures of this on Instagram. The video I did earlier, I talked about how much I love this book, or this series rather. Justice League Dark is awesome. I recommend it to anyone. It's a great team too. Floppy Cop, the funniest book in my list. Um, I could laugh just wanting to even talk about what's in it, so I'm not. Uh, if you like books that just are silly and just going to make you laugh, and I think at one point there was something in issue 3 where I was literally like I had a couple of tears rolling where I just couldn't stop laughing. So yeah, pick up Floppy Cop. It's fun, and support these guys because I don't want this book to stop. Savage Avengers. Okay, just making sure. This is the second time I've recorded this video, and I'm afraid it's starting to do the same thing it was doing earlier. Um, we're going to keep trying though. Savage Avengers. It's issue 3. I haven't got issue 1 or 2 yet. I got it on my pull list before issue 2 came out, but apparently I got on there a little too late to get it. Uh, the story, though, I did read this one. The story was really cool. It's awesome to have Conan, the Punisher, uh, Venom, and like all the darker heroes on one team. It's really cool. Um, Next on my list is I do have already have House of X. It just dropped, but I wanted to use this book because it also shows the Power of X, which is also on my pull list. Have both of these. Jonathan Hickman goodness. Just get it. Sonata. I have issue 1 and 2 just came out. Really good story. The artwork's really cool. This picture here reminds me of a video game called Shadow of the Colossus. That's what this is actually cover B for 1, and that's what made me want to get this book. So this is something else that's on my pull list that is probably going to be there until it either ends or the story all of a sudden takes a drastically weird turn. I recommend it. Um, Next is one of my favorite things on my pull list right now, Transformers Ghostbusters. Um, I'm going to show off another Clayton Crane beauty. Uh, I love Ghostbusters comic books. I love Ghostbusters in general. I just love everything about it. It's like one of the things that was big when I was a kid. Um, and Transformers, love them both. Uh, the story is really cool. The way they've tied them together is really cool. Um, I can't wait for the next issue. I have issue 1 and 2. So yeah, I recommend Transformers Ghostbusters. Gotta be super careful with that Clayton Crane there. And so that made me want to put the regular Transformers on my pull list. And also, after reading that, I had hit the dollar bin and got some old DW Publishing Transformers books that were really really good. One of them had a page in it that was actually emotional for me. I don't know why. Um, I can hear Optimus Prime's voice in my head because I've seen like every one of the cartoons, and yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, I have Transformers on my pull list, and I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm going to dig into it soon. Next on my list is Samurai Grandpa. Now, this book has a story of its own, and I actually posted a picture of it on Instagram. When this book arrived, it was, let's see if I can get a perspective here. No. Well, I guess I did. I guess I did a pretty good job of flattening it out. I haven't like pressed it or anything, but I put it between two backers and put it under a comic box for like the last month. When this book came, it was like bent in half. The cardboard box that they left on my porch was a Gemini. It was bent like this. Uh, Luckily though, the cover on this book is different than like most comic books. So the bend on the crease didn't break color. It just bent everything in half. So I think a press might actually would just completely fix it. Haven't read it though because it's being pressed, but it's on my list. The Weatherman. I got this strictly for the cover. I put it on my list because all the other covers that were in the solicitations were really cool. And I'm going to probably start reading it. But there's a volume 1. I'd like to maybe try to get that collection and go from there. But I just love this cover, so that's really the only reason it's on my pull list. It's because of the art. Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I watch a lot of videos by Chad at 90 Miles from Comics, and he's always talking about how much he loves Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I saw this sitting on the shelf. I thought the art was just actually the best thing on the shelf that I saw that day. Um, so I picked it up, and then when I walked over to the just like the normal rack, not the new comic book rack, issue 1 and 2 was there also, so I picked those up. So I went ahead and put this on my list. And then doing that, I put this on my list, and this is odd because this is like one of the only actually books I have is 92. This is the only one they had in the shop. 95 just came out, so like the week after I put this on my pull list, um, or maybe the same week, I can't remember, that 95 come out and they didn't have it in the shop. Like that issue went wildly expensive, so I guess I'll have to end up buying that if I want to like try to get into the current run and start reading it. So maybe it'll go down in a couple of months and I can get it. I don't know, but either way, I have it on my list now. And the last book on my pull list is Usagi Yojimbo. The cover alone is what sold me on this. I just did get issue 2, and I don't know what happened, but it's got terrible creases right here. I don't think there's much color breaking, but it didn't come in great shape. I was actually very disappointed when I got it out of my pull box at the comic shop. Um, so yeah, that's my pull list. Now I got just a couple other things I want to say here real quick. The video's running somewhere around 16 minutes now, so I'm going to try to just um, I'm going to scroll down here my list. Um, sorry, because I didn't. Some of the books that I showed are on the list here also. Now a lot of the books here in the middle are the Carnage books, and so I'll just kind of give you a quick look at the. So I've got the Symbiote of Vengeance on my list, which is it's going to be pretty cool, I guess. It's Ghost Rider, of course, the Symbiote Spider-Man, and then I just want to show you those two in particular, and then all the other books you see here on the list. The list is to my left, yes. Um, Starting with Absolute Carnage, Symbiote Vengeance, sorry, which is the Ghost Rider. Carnage versus Deadpool. Never been the biggest Deadpool fan. Yeah, shoot me. I don't care. Uh, Lethal Protectors, Scream, Separation Anxiety, Miles Morales, which I'm actually already getting Miles Morales books. I just wanted the Carnage tie-in, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to be from the ongoing Miles Morales or if it's its own thing because it shows as #1. But either way, yeah, I'm still getting it. And yeah, that's it. So those are the books that are on my pull list. And then I want to go over just a couple more things here, really quick. Is at the bottom of the list are the books that I'm adding to my pull list. I have them here somewhere. Oh, okay, here we go. And oh yeah, here's one by the way that I skipped over that's on my pull list is Ice Cream Man. This is actually the only slabbed comic I have. I bought it this way. It's a 9.0, and it's never been pressed, so it could probably get a better grade if I actually had it cracked and resubmitted. But I forgot about this one. Ice Cream Man is also on my pull list. Um, and then the other books that I'm adding to my pull list, I have picked up a lot of the Black Hammer, although that has stopped. But I do have Black Hammer Age of Doom. This is like the next thing after the just original Black Hammer. I'm added that to my pull list. I have added Black Hammer 45, which is just a prequel thing. I haven't read into it yet. The artwork's sort of strange on the inside. Um, the Goon. I have issue 1, 2, and 3 of this. It's really cool, so I've added this to my pull list also. And then just a couple of more things I want to show here, and then we will be done. I have I added Reaver to my pull list like 3 weeks. As soon as I saw this picture, I didn't get it. I'm not sure how long. Like I said, I think it takes like a month before you can get the book that's on your list. And I'm not so far advanced on seeing what's coming out at the moment. I'm starting to get better at it. But either way, I'll probably end up having to like eBay this. But it's on my pull list now, so I'll get issue 2 for sure. And then Justice League Black Hammer. Let's see, bring it up here. There we go. And this art on this picture. Yeah, I'm looking to my left because I have a monitor over here also. The art on this picture is super awesome, but I have issue 1 and 2 coming in the mail. I'm having to get a lot of my books in the mail right now because my comic shop is good, but they're not on top of like everything. You know, like they haven't learned what I like to read yet, to where they probably could be like asking me, hey, they got this book Reaver coming out, or I've got Black Hammer Justice League coming out. Would you like to get a copy? So once they get to feel for what I like better, maybe I'll be in the know more on all these type of books. But I love this. I love this cover. This is issue 2, which is coming out, and I have already prepaid for this. I will be getting this one, and this is something that I did add to my pull list also. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is my pull list. I'd like to know your guys' opinion, what books that you would recommend, because I have room for 3 or 4 more. Some of these books, like I said, like uh, horror comics, I'm not sure if they're even going to do an issue 2. Uh, some of them, like Ice Cream Man, I don't think they come out with like monthly books. So I have room for probably 5 or 6 more books, and I'll be taking suggestions on what people think I should add to my list. So thank you for watching. This is my last video of the day. This is my 3rd video of the day. I wanted to knock these out while I was set up to do it, and I'm also trying to experiment with the OBS and this camera here and this camera over here. Well, I've got to cut off now, but yeah. Thank you for watching.